Hey there, everyone. This here is a spoiler-heavy podcast. I hear there's a deadly hamster on the loose. It'll eat you whole. You want to ignore me? Go ahead. Anyway, enjoy.
Do you want to know what it is? The smut is everywhere. It's all around us. Even now, in this very room, you can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
What truth?
That you are a simp, Jordy. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what hentai is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, and you stay in Wonderland, and I show you just how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth. Nothing more.
Hey, guys, what's going on here?
Close the tabs.
Nothing? Delete the hard drives! Get rid of the files! Everybody, run!
Delete everything.
Spread yourselves! Scatter!
All right, don't know what just happened here, but I'm really hoping none of our podcast material is on that stuff.
Wait a minute, what are you even doing here anyway? Who invited you? Get out of here!
What do you mean? We're supposed to be recording the Spoilercast right now. What do you mean, what am I doing here?
Wait,
what are you guys doing here, apparently?
That's today?
That's today?
We're doing our weekly checkup. Oh, wait, I mean, he was helping me with homework.
Yeah, I was helping him with his homework. You see this big folder that says homework in it. That's 9 terabytes. Don't worry about it.
I said delete that.
I tried to scrub the hard drive, but it was the backup hard drive. I'm very efficient, damn it.
Also, I just want to be clear, this is the bit. Like, that was it.
Was it a bit?
I can't top that. Clip it and ship it.
Clip it and ship it.
Clip it and ship it. Fucking stupid. All right, we're here.
Spoilercast.
I don't even think we needed one yet. It's been too soon since the last one, but I was out
Well,
voting.
let me tell you why exactly. We won't have another one for like another year.
Well, I think that's acceptable. Yeah.
Are you forgetting how long this next arc is?
It's like 100 eps or something like that, right?
It's a little bit more than 100, just a smidge.
The next arc is around 337, and we're at what? 290? Wait, 198? 190 something?
Okay, to be fair, I know for a fact that there's a 15-episode filler arc.
There's at least like 30 episodes of filler. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Either way, I mean, I think that's acceptable because, once we get done with Water 7, we'll be itching to do a spoiler cast. We'll have things to talk about.
Justin's going to be sad because he's going to wait like 2 years for a spoiler cast.
I love these moments, bro.
It's the only reason he ever joined up to record.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He heard the other spoiler cast. He was like, damn, I'm missing out.
That's what really did it. For everyone listening, the only reason that Justin's even joining us anymore is because he just really wanted to get in on the spoiler cast talk.
Yeah, the main podcast stuff, that's just like a prerequisite for me to get to the next spoiler cast. I don't care about any of this.
I hope that's not actually true. I was joking, but you know what? If it is, whatever. You can't prove anything. Oh no, not like this, Justin. Come on.
Listen, I put in the work. The audience enjoys it. Allegedly, that's all that matters here. All right.
Oh
my motives mean
God.
nothing.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts my soul. Whatever.
I'm
It is
also
what it
definitely
is.
joking. I
respect
love the
it.
podcast.
No. You know what? It's okay, Justin. I respect it. You don't value our time. You don't value our energy or our friendship. That's
It's
fine.
okay. I don't either.
Jordy doesn't either, and he's the one who runs this whole fucking thing.
I plead the fifth.
Dylan, cut
All
that.
right. Dylan, don't you fucking dare cut that, Dylan. All right, so this is the second spoiler cast. So
we're just off the top. We're going to be discussing a lot of spoiler shit. If you really haven't caught up with anything, I suggest you stop listening because
Yes.
Justin spoil shit out the wazoo.
Oh, I'm ready.
We don't have plans to go in depth with a lot of like the end game talk. Well, maybe some of like the manga end game, but like a lot of the stuff after the current or where the anime is right now that we're about to head into. But just so we're clear, it's a no holds bars. Everything's on the table. So if
we're not going to be dilly dallying with whatever we say.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be spoiling the next upcoming major arc, just so that's clear.
Zero filter.
Yeah, definitely want to touch like the end of or like where the current manga and anime are. Definitely touching upon that.
All right, so enough of that.
You didn't even give him like one more final warning.
All right. Ace dies.
You're such a fucker. All right, well,
you
there
had
you
a
go.
chance, right? You had last chance. I told you to stop listening like 10 minutes ago.
I feel like we made that joke the last time, but maybe we didn't. I don't know.
No, well, I started with this one because this is the one thing Justin said to the other goons.
Right, that is true. That's
Did
actually
I?
a true story. Can I bring that up to the team?
Yep.
Okay, once upon a time, this absolute madman. I'm gonna tell the story for you, Justin, because fuck you.
Please do, because I don't have any memory of it.
This man, we were talking about this is like when we first started the cast too. I remember we were like, I think we're still in East Blue or something like that. Like we weren't even at Logtown yet. And I remember it was Justin and our other friend. Should I say his name? Another name that starts with a J. Good friend of yours, Justin. They were talking and they were talking about like not spoilers outright back and forth, but then Justin just drops a bomb and just throws it and goes like, yeah, the time when Ace died was probably the best part of the entire series. And I'm just like, what? And then I remember Juan fucking was backing him up the whole time too. And I was just like, guys, just stop it. Just drop it before they fucking hear you.
Yeah, I don't think Christian was paying attention at all. He was like, wait, what?
Well, that's what you think. I guarantee you Christian knows what's up.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like the internet spoiled that for him way before I got to him.
Nope, it didn't. I remember Christian saying, I did not know that, but thank you for telling me. That kind of sucks.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't remember, though.
No, he does not have a bad memory. He definitely remembers.
He definitely remembers. Garen fucking teed.
Press X to go.
Well, ask him when it comes up.
Your X button doesn't even exist on the controller. That is how confident I am that this
Even
man
if
did
he
not
doesn't
forget.
remember, it's going to come back to him when he sees Ace up on that stage about to get executed.
He's gonna know. He's gonna fucking. I mean,
like,
luckily,
oh no.
I mean, we could just like gaslight him into thinking, yo, that's just you knowing how like shonen scripts like
Shut
get
up.
written.
I will say, it'll at least give him like a red herring for a while. Like, even if he knows concretely that he's gonna die, like half the fun is like the journey and leading into his inevitable death. I would say that the abruptness of the actual scene was still a heavy hitter, regardless of if you know it's coming or not.
It's going to come in a lot sooner than we think because there's the Blackbeard and Ace fight.
Yes.
That happens
Very
at
true.
it's the very last episode of this arc.
Wow.
I think it's, Water 7's like right at the tail end of ending, and then we go to Blackbeard and Ace fighting, then we just do all the Thriller Bark nonsense, which leads us into Sabaody, and then we go into the war.
I like how it's Water 7 and Ennie's Lobby, but no one ever calls it Ennie's Lobby.
I call it Ennie's Lobby.
Nah, I definitely just refer to it all as Water 7. People say Ennie's Lobby, and I'm like, huh?
Well, I'll say this. Water 7 rolls off the tongue way better than Ennie's Lobby does.
That's true.
Even
Yes, it
though,
does.
like, Water 7 just, I don't know, there's something that just, like, feels good when you say it. You know what I mean? Well, also a very weird fucking name for a random ass island. You would think that there must be like another 6, but nope, we're just at Water 7.
We're on our 7th floor because we keep drowning.
Since we're here, can we discuss how much shit is actually going to go down?
Oh my god, dude.
I'm ready.
Like, just the little behind the stage for you people ahead who know the story. We have the entire roadmap for the next arc.
Yes.
We have all the episodes planned out. Every like suspenseful moment is there.
All done by our hamster, by the way. Yeah, the hamster. Just completely done for us. I literally like blinked and looked. Oh, look, all of our episodes are mapped out. Fantastic.
There's all right. So just like a sneak peek, one of the things that I remember is that Luffy becomes second gear, and then the thing ends, and I was like, that's perfect.
That's fucking perfect. Yeah. I'm most looking forward to the inevitable fall of the straws, and
one of the chunks is only 2 episodes, and it's just that fight.
Yeah.
that's it. That's
The
all we're gonna
Usopp
watch.
fight.
Oh,
Yep.
yes. Oh my god, it's gonna break my heart, dude.
I am ready to, one, emotionally traumatize myself again, but more importantly, watch the other 2 just like, I don't know what they're gonna do. Mostly Devin. Devin's a wild card, but like Christian, he might cry.
I think Christian's gonna suddenly get right on that fucking Usopp train right along with me, dude. I'm feeling it. I think I'm gonna sway that boy, Devin. No matter what you do, he's never gonna see Usopp as anything other than the gag character.
This is definitely the Usopp arc.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. This is, I mean, it's also it's the Usopp and Robin arc, but I think that they expand on Usopp in just such a way.
It's Usopp beginning and then Usopp like the little bow at the end.
Yes, exactly.
And the meat of it is actually Robin.
I would say that the entire arc centers around Robin's personal struggle, having to deal with her trauma, having to deal with her past. And then meanwhile, you've got Usopp, who's been dealing with the same demon of, am I useless? I might be useless. We'll continue on for a while, all having to realize, I am a little useless. Okay. And then rather than, step up and be a man about it, he has to go through a whole character arc to find his shit.
Yep. We meet the goose, so get king, son.
Also, okay, I wanna let the record show here and now. So I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna go as hard as I can for as long as I can, making the bit that I don't know that Sniper King and Usopp are the same person. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for it, and if it reads, maybe
you know what? I'll join you.
Absolutely.
I want that record stated here and now.
If all three of us, with their future knowledge, genuinely tell them that's not Usopp,
they
might actually believe that.
I will tell you right now, that's not Usopp.
That's not Usopp, bro.
We don't even. No, there's no bit here. That is not Usopp.
Usopp straight up is always back on the ship. He will come in later on, trust me, but that's not Usopp.
I don't know what makes you think that's Usopp, but that's not Usopp, bro.
No, I'm going all in. And when Christian and Devin inevitably ask if Usopp really did leave the crew, I'm gonna fucking tell him right in the square in their podcast.
I mean, technically he did.
Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah,
he did leave.
Of course, you saw it, right?
Also, they know he comes back because of the pictures of the future stuff.
well,
that's assuming they use their 2 brain cells to remember that. If it comes up, it comes up. But
And then we have the third protagonist of the arc, which is sort of on the sideline, the Frankie dude.
The Frankie dude. I don't think that they're gonna see Frankie coming at first, but then within a couple episodes, I think they're going to pick up on it. Because here's the thing:
if they remember the line I told them a while back about the guy who drinks soda, then yes, they will know immediately.
Well, that's fair.
That's if they remember that line.
You did feed them that once upon a time. Yeah. But I know that Devin and Christian have mentioned that they've seen the pictures of the late game
crew, yeah.
Yeah, the post what do you call it? Fucking time skip. Sorry, the post time skip crew and stuff. Here's where I'm at. Devin very vaguely mentions a guy with a hat and another guy with a hat, and I'm pretty convinced he's just talking about Brooke twice.
He might be, unless there's Usopp gets a safari hat.
Usopp does get so he might not know that's Usopp. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's just an idiot.
We get buff Usopp.
He doesn't know that we get fucking jacked Usopp. Hell yeah!
We tell him Soga King joins the crew.
The Soga King, Sniper King, Soga King, whatever. And then for Frankie though, I don't really think. Even if you've seen him post time skip, you would probably not. Yeah, you would probably not immediately recognize that this is the same dude, because that boy adds a lot of cybernetics.
Yeah, the only thing close is his colors.
The Nami movie we saw at the very end, they show Frankie's fist, but that's post time skip, so it's just literal Gundam hand. Compared to when you meet him.
Literally see his Gundam hand. That's all you see. You don't see this absolute Chad dad of a man with his giant Popeye forearms or whatever.
I always forget that Frankie's in his 40s.
Yeah, he's actually I think he's 38. 38.
That mental revelation. Hold up.
He's hanging out with a bunch of 18-year-olds.
I don't know if you know this, Justin, but Robin's 30. Frankie's 39-ish. Brooks is 100 and something at this point.
I think it's 28 is Robin before the time skip, 30 after. Frankie is 38, then 40, and then Luffy and Nami are both 17 and then 19, and then Zoro was 18 to 20. I think something like that.
And then we have Old Man Brook.
And then we got Old Man Brook, who's just, he's fucking dude, who knows?
Ancient.
he's 150 or something, not some nonsense.
This is probably information I had in my brain, but I just wasn't carrying around with me consciously.
Right, yeah, these are not things that you ever put into, that you think about.
It's irrelevant information until it's not.
Until it's not.
Until the Z movie, when they turn their ages back 12 years and Robin looks the exact same.
Where are we at?
We're mostly just going off of Water 7, just kind of talking.
Water 7 is my favorite arc. If it hasn't been said yet.
We got the small upgrades. We got Frankie, Robin's Pass, which is, get that napkin ready.
Okay, while we're here for the moment, that one scene, the first time I saw it was in dub on Toonami, and it was probably like the ending of an episode, probably, where Robin just screams she wants to live. I legit cried in the middle of my living room. I was like, ow, why does it hurt? Like, whoever her voice actress is during that time period, God bless you. The way you're like, her voice like cracks, she's like screaming. I'm like, it hurts so bad, but it feels so good. God, that moment slaps so hard. I hate the fact that I'll just never be able to relive that though. Like that raw pain I felt, I'll never be able to feel that again.
This is actually a somewhat relevant fun fact. So when I was first, it's Stephanie Young, by the way. When I was first like picking up One Piece, and I know I mentioned this already, I started the anime again from the 4Kids era sometime during Skype, I think like during the Satori fight or some shit like that. And I got through to just before the Foxy arc.
Which we're watching, by the way. We're not skipping that.
Bro, me realizing that wasn't filler.
We should say this too in the cast, since we're probably not gonna get a chance to mention this again ever. The G8 arc we're gonna watch, and
we're gonna go through a lot of filler and tell them it's not filler. Like not even like, tell them it's filler.
Yeah, we have no intention of telling them that G8 is filler until maybe at the very end.
I don't even feel like we should ever tell them until we're done with Water 7.
I think that's a fine plan, honestly.
If you want to wait that long, absolutely. My brain was like, wait until after the Foxy arc and then be like, so guys, was any of that filler? Were they both canon? What are you feeling?
yeah. What we should do a bracket and say, all right, we watched 2 arcs. Which of them do you think was filler? And then be like, it could be one, could be both, could be neither. What are your guesses? we fucking play the game or something like that.
I love it.
We'll see. I think after Water 7 would also be fine, but we're going to watch the G8 arc. And it was like the end of the G8 arc leading into Foxy when the dub had officially like caught up. I think like right around episode 200 on the dot. And then I was like, well, this kind of sucks. Now I got nothing to do. So I watched all of One Piece again from the start. And then by the time I was done with it, I went back to the site and it had picked up like another couple installments. Funimation always releases like 12 episodes at a time. Fun fact. So I think they had like just gotten through the Foxy stuff and they were starting Water 7 and like the train had gone by and I'm like, what the fuck is all this? This is sweet. And as that was happening, I was like, well, I kind of want to see like what else is going on. And I'm like Devin and Crystal, right? Devin and Christian, right?
You always say that, by the way. You got to stop.
I do got to stop. I'm sorry. I like kind of already knew where some of the stuff was going. Like I had seen like the end crew at the end, but not that I knew how they got there. So I was like, you know what? Why do I do this? I already know like a lot of stuff. I'm just gonna skip to the next arc and then watch the sub. And then watch whatever the hell I damn well please. Because I wanted to save Water 7 for the dub. Because I was like, I started it. Let's finish it in dub. But I'll skip all the way to Thriller Bark and watch in sub or whatever. And I did that. Well, I got all the way to the end of the war and was like, man, what have I done? What on earth did I do to myself? So I kept watching episodically all of Water 7, waiting for it to finish up. And then after Water 7 completed, I rewatched the whole thing from start to finish. And then I started picking up the manga and watching more of the sub here and there. But Water 7 is an absolute jam. And I'm very satisfied that I got a chance to save the dub for Water 7 because they put a lot of effort into it.
So different takes out here. I want to hear your guys' opinion. It's well known among the community that this is considered the peak of One Piece.
Yes.
Sadly.
Yes. Sadly, yes.
Water 7. Different people with different takes, but personally, I consider this to be true. I like it more than the rest of One Piece. I like a lot of like the later stuff, like the sub-body stuff. And the time skip, like the first few episodes, the post time skip, when Luffy comes in with the what's it called, those mechas, and he just blows them away in one hit.
Pacifistas, yeah.
Super hype. But the Water 7 is definitely my peak for One Piece.
I'm gonna say if what you're asking about is the overall package and what One Piece can offer as a storytelling medium, then yes, I do feel like at its core, Water 7 is the peak. Now, not to say that there are not a lot of aspects of the series that I genuinely really appreciate later down the line. I really do like all the world building that Oda does with his poneglyphs and with the ancient weapon stuff. I like that what he does with the hockey nonsense, even though a lot of it does eventually turn into a lot of nonsense. Don't get me wrong.
Awakened devil fruits.
The awakened devil fruits. It's like I know,
which maybe we'll expand upon. Who knows?
It kind of turns into nonsense. I ain't gonna lie, but I would still say there's a lot to like after Water 7, but as a complete package, as a full-on from start to finish, what do you like the characters? Do you like the setting? Do you like the animation? This is peak animation. It only goes down.
Peak animation.
Big facts.
It only goes down for me. I don't know how they had it right in 2005, and we are now in 2020, and they've gone backwards. Although, to be fair, Wano's kind of popping off.
I want to say Wano's picking it back up again. They're trying real hard out there.
It's taken them like 10 to 15 years, but they're starting to get it back. I want to believe that trade-off came with at least like a better health, like to work ratio with the animators in Japan in that period, but I somehow doubt that even that's the case.
Very heartbreaking to know a lot of those people are kind of like half starving.
Right, exactly.
Both mentally and physically.
Yeah,
animating is a very thankless job. Shout out to any animators out there if you happen to listen to this cast.
If you like do literally any part of animation, from like producers to like the guy who makes the coffee, like shout out to you.
Shout out to you for making it that far.
Shout out to you, because thanks to you, people like you, we have a reason to do stupid casts like this as a hobby with our friends and whatnot. That's great.
Big facts.
Any ethnicity, any race, whatever. Shout out to you if you're an animator, because that shit is a thankless job.
Big facts. Like I had a friend who, after she graduated from high school back in the day, she did her first year at like a prestigious like art school here in the. I won't dox myself. Here where we live.
Almost a big bleep from the Dylan there.
What if there's only like 2 prestigious schools and then just narrow it down?
Damn. Anyway, she went to a school for animation, art, and stuff like that. She did a year. And she dropped out because like that school just like killed her love for like doing art and animation, stuff like that. So if you made it that far and do this for a living, God bless you.
And if you're one of those people who's on Fiverr doing that kind of stuff, fucking power to you. I'll have you make my D&D character.
Fiverr.
I swear to God, I will.
Do all that work for $5? Go home.
I'll give him $20.
I feel like that's as much as they get paid.
No. Hey, if it takes him an hour to make, that's $20 an hour. That's decent.
Who gets paid more? Professional animators in Japan or people on Fiverr?
Fine, I'll give him $100. Why you gotta hurt me like this?
But also keep making anime for me. I can't live without it.
But also please, because we need that in our lives. We need to inject that shit into our veins.
Yeah, I need Spice and Wolf season 3. Come on.
Dude, facts. That's what I'm saying.
I will give you $10.
But anyway, what brought us here? The Water 7 animation. Mwah. Fucking mwah. Peak One Piece, personally.
To answer Jordy's question, Water 7's not my favorite arc, surprisingly.
Really?
But I would be lying to you and I would be trying really hard to disagree if I said that Water 7 wasn't like peak perfection for One Piece in terms of like story writing, animation, especially then, character progression, all that good stuff. I think Water 7 is just like pinnacle One Piece, but it surprisingly isn't my favorite arc. Currently, my favorite arc is like the Marineford stuff. I love that.
Pretty good.
Marineford is an absolute baller time. It is. Its only drawback is that it kind of suffers a little bit from the early onset of like massive pacing errors that they really get into when they get to
drag out
the
Luffy
time
running
skip.
through that field.
They drag it out a little bit in there.
A little bit. And the amount of earthquakes that Whitebeard can do.
Dude, Whitebeard is just an absolute monster. They just got to the anime where I can talk about the manga around you, right, Jordy? You don't care, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
All right, so in the manga, they Gold Roger and Whitebeard, they had a flashback to better understand Odin and how he brought himself to like the Kaido War as it stands or whatever, and Gold Roger and Whitebeard like duked it out at one point, and that was when Justin mentioned that like the anime showed how Roger got to the Sky Island or whatever, and how he rode on the bell or whatever. And I remember just seeing the clash, even in the manga. Like the anime kind of oversells it with like Dragon Ball Z style like power auras, which have gotten a little popular. It's gotten a little popular lately, which is kind of weird.
Touching.
But whatever.
Yeah, those blades were not touching. That was all
okay, but it wasn't even in the manga panel. But it was supposed to be like a clash of conquerors hockey, like between Luffy and Doffy was back fucking Dressrosa or whatever.
Everything comes back to Dragon Ball Z.
Everything eventually goes right back to Dragon Ball Z. Straight lines, big beams, baby.
Big, powerful
Always.
moves.
Speaking of the current arc, especially in the anime, I just want to say shout out to the people animating the little Odin flashback arc. It is so pretty. It is like
Hell yeah.
not Whitebeard, well Whitebeard too, but Gold Roger. I mean, it's beautiful.
That man is a fucking stallion.
Actually,
He's actually just, I've seen pictures. He's just Luffy older and with a beard.
Okay,
That's all he is.
hard disagree. Time out. It is Ace with a mustache, just so we're clear. I actually found that really interesting when the manga first came out with that first chapter where he was brought back into the story or whatever during the flashback. And a lot of people were like, dudes, this is like, he literally looks just like Ace, but with a mustache. And I was like, oh, that's such a nice
But Luffy looks like
note.
Ace. It's the same thing.
Well,
He's just more rounder. Hey, Justin, how'd you start watching One Piece?
no, I'm glad I actually want to talk about that. So, from what I remember, I definitely started One Piece either like I just graduated high school or I'm like really close to graduating high school.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, I think Bleach was finishing up. Naruto was like, it felt like it was finishing up, or like I got to a point where like I can no longer binge Naruto because I was caught up. So I'm like, oh, I don't really know anime too well. Most of the stuff I'm watching is like 12 episodes, one season, cry at the end because there's never getting into season 2 kind of thing. So eventually, I caved into the collective voice of the anime world, being like, watch One Piece. But I think it was definitely one guy in particular. I think it was Obi. Jordy might know who that is.
Yeah.
He was like, just watch One Piece, bro. So I did. Did a lot of binging over a summer break.
Well, before you finish that, let me explain the amount of obsession this boy Ovi had with One Piece.
Oh boy, I don't know this guy. This will be good.
Let me let you in on a little past shit of mine. I used to have free periods and I have nothing or no one to be around with, so I'd just be in the library doodling. And he would walk up to me randomly and be like, "Yo, you see One Piece?" I'd be like, "Bro, I told you a million times. Yes, I've seen it." Yo, Luffy though.
Who is this guy? What do you mean?
You're just the guy we went to high school with.
Yeah, he's a great kid, but every time, he'd be like, "You watch One Piece, right?"
You see that latest episode?
He's just desperately looking for a weeb to talk to.
Yeah, without fail. Every time, One Piece. Y'all should watch one. Like, we'd be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Yo, y'all see One Piece?
I just imagine, like, I've summoned the powerful Exodia. You'd be like, that's really cool, but you see One Piece?
One Piece?
Be like, we're in the middle of a card game. I just literally beat you with Exodia.
That's what's really hilarious, imagining Justin go, "I don't know what to watch," and he goes, "Yo, watch One Piece." What are you doing?
You need to watch One Piece, dude. That's a way different experience than me, man.
So I did a lot of binging over a summer break, probably like before freshman year of college or whatever. Kept watching. Definitely did my best to skip as much spoiler that I knew about, because I was a big Bleach fan. We both know how egregious that show is with filler.
Wow. Sorry.
So I eventually caught up right around when like Dressrosa was getting animated. And at that point, pacing was bad. Really bad. Like when Dressrosa finished, my friend hit me on the head. It was like, "Bro, you realize that Dressrosa took place story-wise in 24 hours, and it took 2 years of our lives to finish it."
Bro, I'll do you one better. Dressrosa took literally 4 years of manga. You could have literally graduated all of high school if you kept up with that serially. I'm like, imagine that for a second. You started high school and finished, and they were still on fucking Dressrosa. Imagine.
We're here for a bit, so let me ask you guys a question on top of the question that I've asked a minute ago. How do we want to go about the really bad pacing?
Yeah, I think we're still fine until the time skip.
Do you guys want to skip over to one pace?
I would say we either switch over to a one pace. The only alternative I could potentially give is, instead of doing a weekly ep, which I know would be like kind of annoying, maybe we do a bi-weekly ep and then just we all watch 15 episodes. But that would be so
There's also the movie as an option.
We could always go to the movies, but I mean, the problem with the movies is that there's only going to be the 2 movies to watch. You know what I mean?
Well,
there's going to be
specifically Dressrosa the movie, but the other one's One Piece, I guess.
Right. I guess that's fair.
For an audience member who doesn't know, One Piece is an edit where special people out there, another set of thankless people, there's a lot of those out here. They come together and they edit One Piece into more of a manga type thing where they take the manga and try to reduce as much filler as they can and condense it into a more bearable thing to watch, I guess.
And there's a guy who even made the same thing with the dub once upon a time, but I think he only got to the time skip, to be fair. So it's not like it's the whole thing. So all the stuff that it needs it doesn't have it, which kind of sucks. So my only problem is that if we get to that point, I can still be watching the dub, but if we do One Piece, then I have to watch the sub, which kind of sucks, but well, whatever.
My only best thing I can think of is like we take the very unfortunate duty of like trying to pre-screen it and just be like, all right, most of these episodes like recap.
We tell them exact minutes.
Yeah, just be like, yo, just watch exact minutes or like skip one episode and just watch the recap in the next
That's
episode
such a
kind of thing.
clunky mess, though. I feel like
It
at that
is.
point, you just like honestly, you could probably like skip 5 episodes because it's mostly running and doing nothing.
God, that's how I felt about like I haven't. Okay, quick whatever fact about myself. I haven't seen Whole Cake Island because I didn't.
Oh.
I guess I could back to read the manga. I don't know why I didn't. But like anime wise, pacing, I hated it. Luffy versus Cracker, 15 episodes. I could not stand it.
It upset me the Sanji thing when he was fighting Sanji.
Yeah, I remember they made a big deal out of like the Sanji fight, which was one chapter in the manga for context, and I was down for like an hour-long like experience, but then I think 90% of the hour was just flashbacks, right? Or something like that.
It was
I didn't actually see
that,
myself.
and then it was just them like sort of staring at each other for a while. I don't remember exactly. I just remember it being sort of a disappointment, but I felt the emotion there, which is kind of like really bittersweet because I was like, this could have been really good.
Right. If there was a little bit more direction or a little bit more care, it could have been like a lot better or whatever.
Justin, did you finish your story, by the way?
I felt the only thing I would add to it is that manga wise, I started very recently. I don't know what it was. I could not read manga for a long period of my life. I don't know what it was. My brain was like, reads one panel. All right, I'm done with this. My brain still is not interested. I only got into reading manga back when My Hero Academia, I think it was like season 2, the episode right before where Deku and Shoto fight, like that, they're like, yo, next week, this happens. And I was so hyped. I was like, I refuse to wait a week to watch this. I'm going to the manga. I read My Hero Academia, and I stood there. I could not read any other manga for a while. And I want to say within the last year, I finally started reading like other stuff. So like right now, I only got like 4 mangas that I read. One Piece is one of them. And it feels good to progress this far in my life.
You know, that's me with
Nice.
any good story ever. Well, specifically, it's any show that's weekly airing, and I'm just annoyed because I don't like watching weekly airing things. I'm a really big binge watcher. I watch like an entire season in an hour. But weekly stuff, I'm going to be like,
Miss me with that.
the specific one, I think I told Brendan this, was Erased.
Yes. So good,
I think
dude.
they were at episode 6 or something, and it was such a good show. And I was like, I got to know who the killer is. I got to know.
I gotta know who the killer is.
I gotta know who done.
And I started the manga, and I caught up to the manga too, and it wasn't finished. And I said, no.
Not like this.
Oh no, not like
You
this,
can't do
bro.
this to me. Dude, I'm so glad that I found Erased when I did, because Erased was a fucking gem and a half, and I watched everything in a single sit
The
down.
manga definitely ruined the show for me because I knew what was going to happen. I was like, I don't want to watch this no more.
Dude, it was still a fucking blast. I would rewatch that. That's a great show to rewatch.
I also hate weekly manga reading because I didn't read the end of Erased for like another year.
Okay, well now you're twisting your own arm at that point.
Come on, man. I'm moving on to different things. I can't be waiting here.
This is the same guy who will like turn on an episode of One Piece and then just like skip to the last 30 seconds. Yeah, I think I got everything I needed.
All right, calm down. I did that one time.
One time is too many.
The same boy, I tell you, the same dude.
What did I do? I had a thought and I lost it.
It do be that way, man. Tell me about it.
Right. Okay. So like going on I understand like why you are that way. Where like if you read the manga, you don't want to go back to the anime, or like if you really like the anime, you refuse to read the manga because you know how you're gonna like set yourself up later.
Yep.
That's how I feel a little bit. Like for certain things, like for instance, Dr. Stone, love the anime. I don't want to read the manga because I enjoy like just the experience of watching as an anime format for some reason. I feel like I'd be losing a lot as a manga reader on top of the fact that like, I don't know, I'm just enjoying the slow ride we have. But largely I enjoy both just because, especially with like My Hero Academia at some point, like I think like the last season, when I was reading that manga, something about manga art, sometimes just like doesn't translate visually well with me. Like that Deku versus Overhaul fight, I was like largely confused about like what was happening.
The way they drew it was a little confusing.
So like that's why I appreciate.
Also, they kind of do it dirty though, because Lemillion got done dirt. All right, that whole fight.
Yeah,
you can't lie to me and tell me that they did that justice.
That was bad. That was real bad. My boy deserves better.
Lemillion is the greatest character in that whole series, and they did his fight in screenshots.
Like, bro, okay, all of the budget they put into that Overhaul fight, which honestly I didn't enjoy for some reason, take all of that money and slap it on my boy Lemillion. He deserves it, all right?
They give Deku like 8 billion fights, but they can't give this boy like 2 frames.
I don't want to be that guy, but do we need to preface by saying that this is also now a My Hero spoiler cast?
As long as I'm here,
you're right. Dylan, cut that.
I don't want to stop you guys, but like.
Yeah, so let's move back to One Piece.
Anyway, so that was my story of getting into One Piece. Oh, God, Shonen, am I right?
I was also a major Bleach fan back in the day, back in high school and whatnot. That shit was my jam. Unfortunately, I didn't really care for it after the Aizen arc, but luckily, it didn't last very long after that. Although now we're getting, the new season of Bleach is going to be coming out?
Maybe within the end of the year, maybe next year.
Are there any other major things we want to talk about with Water 7 other than anything we're looking forward to?
You guys can talk about the current stuff. Like, I don't mind.
Well, the Wano stuff? Pfft, dude, man, fucking Wano.
I love Wano. I love it specifically. Like, even before we like made actual progress into the story and like just knowing it's actually really good. Me not seeing Zoro for like 2+ years hurt my soul. Zoro's my favorite character.
Don't be such a little baby.
Bro, it hurts so bad.
Oh my God, you're one of those.
I love Zoro. I need it. The Zhao.
This is actually.
It was Zhao and then Whole Cake Island. There was no Zoro, I believe. So like that was a long time of having no slashy. All right.
Well, whatever. But this is actually a good time to bring this up. How we feel about Wano right now, because there was a real banger of a chapter that came out just recently. I don't know if Justin read it yet.
If we're talking about the most recent one, I have.
Okay, fantastic. Dude, how about these guys duking out against the Emperors right now?
It's so good.
Absolutely.
I didn't know where it was going to go with
maniac.
this, honestly. I definitely didn't see like the whole, what do you call it? The new generation, or what do they call them?
The supernovas.
Worst.
The supernova, worst generation supernovas, them versus like 2 Yonko. I didn't see that coming, honestly.
I definitely saw it coming against Kaido. I was not expecting Big Mom until obviously Wano was taken off. But the 3 things that I want to mention that happened last chapter. Number 1, they did a freaking throwback to Elbath of all things, or I'm sorry, the Little Garden of all things.
Yes, it didn't hit me at first, and so I followed this YouTuber recently who like went in about that, where it was like, this is literally what Dogi and Bragi did on their send off.
Yeah, Jordy, get this. They do the same thing that Dory and Bragi did to the goldfish, Kaido and Big Mom together when they throw a big fat attack or whatever at Luffy and the gang or whoever. And I was like, what the fuck is it? Dude, that's the coolest throwback out of nowhere. That's like 800 chapters in the making, or like 900 chapters in the making. What the fuck is this? The other thing, I really underestimated Kid and how cool his power would be during this fight. I want to say the coolest thing that happened was at one point they were asking Law like why he can't just like teleport them away and separate them, and he's like, well, their hockey's too strong, whatever, plot devices. And but then Kid and Law on the side, while Luffy is like taking Kaido's attention, they're plotting against fucking up Big Mom. Zoro can cut fire now, so he's cutting up the sun that Big Mom has.
My dude just got a Sharingan. He looked at Kinemon and he was like, yo, I can do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He used the Sharingan eye again when Kinemon did it, and then he was like, I can do that now. And then Killer takes away the sword that Big Mom was holding. And then freaking Kid, he makes this like steampunk box, this like, you know, this Rubik's Cube, this crazy ass cube. And then Law teleports the thundercloud into the Rubik's Cube. Suddenly Big Mom has none of her gigs. None of it. She's done. I mean, not like done, but all of her like crazy stupid powers are gone in a single swoop. And I'm like, fucking
and
hell,
funny
dude.
enough, she's like, oh, you think you can like defeat me if you just take away my toys? She starts falling off the island. She's like, wait, there's nothing but ocean below me. Fuck.
This is the third thing I wanted to mention. First of all, again, Kid, way cooler power. Coming in way clutcher than I gave him credit for. He, you know, grabs onto Big Mom and
after he gets like
tanks
smushed, he eats it.
He takes a massive hit, and then he finally does a rappel for the first time since like Saba Odi, because all we've ever seen is attract a giant like club or whatever. He repels Big Mom. She's falling into the ocean right now, and I'm sure plot armor's gonna save her, but this is like the first time. Dude, what if though? What if the way they beat a Yonko is because her devil fruit keeps her from swimming? Please, just give me this, Oda. I
would love that, but also, it's probably not going to happen because that happened already and she just washed up on Wano. So,
bro, I don't think she's ever fallen in the water though.
No, when Big Mom pirates were flying up to Wano from like, you know, their knockup stream or whatever you want to call it.
Right, but she had Zeus or Prometheus. They can fly. They keep her in the air. Both of them are incapacitated right now. It looked
like Big Mom was big drowning and just washed up on shore with amnesia. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, there was that. Okay. One of the Yonko get bested because they just drowned. That would just be so satisfying to me. After all this time, they finally use that big drawback because they never use it. They never use that as a drawback. Anytime anyone falls in the water, plot armor always gets them out of the situation, right? Like, it's really mostly just used to give Luffy, you know, a reason to have friends keeping him from drowning in the water, right? Other than that, like, it's barely ever mentioned. Even when we were in Fishman Island, they first get there, and then I think it was Sanji or Frankie or whatever, and they were counting like all the devil fruit eaters, being like, okay, we have to make sure we pick up all the guys who can't swim, and that's like the only time it's ever mentioned. They never have to worry about it as a major ailment. I just want to see Big Mom drown. That's all I'm saying.
I'm here for it.
If that's the end of her tale, I wouldn't even be that sad. I think that'd be hilarious.
I fully support this. Oda, make it happen, please.
I'm on it. That's my tale. That's my rant right now. That was a good chapter.
I think the only two things I really wanted to bring up, and not like too in depth either, were I'll start with chapter 1000. I don't know if you have thoughts. I think it suffered a little bit from overhype, at least for me personally.
What, the Red Rock, dude? That thing was
no
sweet.
Red Rock. That was great. Also, while I'm here, fun fact, I looked into it.
A rock is a big bird.
Yeah, rock is a ancient mythological bird in like Middle Eastern society or whatever. So, you know, it's a bird still for anyone who's like, hawk, rock, what this? But Red Rock, that panel, that was great. And the chapter was solid. I felt like it was just overhyped for me, unfortunately. I wrote in a little, I don't know what I was expecting, but I don't know.
I think in the last like 100 or 200 chapters, a bigger hype chapter was it 900? I think it might have been 900. The one where everyone's bounties gets revealed for the first time. That shit was fucking amazing.
Is that the one that happens like when they're all like in the Marine base and they're about to start talking about like
It was right after Luffy got his bounty and the warlord system was abolished and they're all back on the chopping block again, and then they go over, you know, Big Mom, Kaido's, Shanks, Gold Roger's, Whitebeard's bounties. Honestly, to finally get confirmation about like what is the endgame bounty scale in the series was fantastic, because you're constantly guessing as the numbers inflate. Okay, where's the ceiling at, guys? Like years and years and years, we think it's Arlong because he's got 20. We think it's Crocodile because he's got 80. Then we suddenly think it's the 7 warlords who tap out at like 300. Then suddenly we have Jack the Mammoth who's at 1 billion. We're just, oh my god, where's the ceiling, guys? Make it stop. I want to get off this crazy ride. That was hype as shit. And they also have really cool bounty posters, and I love the shit out of that. The chapter specifically, the anime didn't do a very good justice. I watched the episode. I think they spoiled it like before it got to Brook like counting out the zeros, which was kind of dumb. I remember like the way it was written, you didn't see the commas or something like that. You just saw like a 5, and as it was like on the ground before Brooke went to go pick it up. Meanwhile, in the anime, it literally was just like on the ground. You saw it immediately. They still continued to do the other scenes, and then they went back to it. And then Brooke was like, Luffy, your bounty didn't go down. It's 1.5 billion. And then like it still kind of hit, but it didn't hit as much as watching, everyone being like, well, wait, what is it now? Or whatever, even though you can kind of infer it. I don't know. I might be talking nonsense, but
No, I feel that.
that was probably a bigger hype chapter in the most recent part of the series that I would say, for me personally. Chapter 1000 was good. It was very enjoyable. I really liked the decking of Kaido, but honestly, something about, bringing back those old characters and like putting a sense of scale on the universe is just always a way better moment for me.
And aside from that, the only thing I would really want to, I guess, ask, it would probably just be you. Do you think Yamato joins the crew?
Okay, now this is a good question. All right. So I'll be honest, I was never a Carrot guy, ever. I never felt like Carrot was going to be the play. When she joined everyone in Whole Cake Island, I was getting kind of strong-armed. I'm like, this is going to be the play, isn't it? This is going to be it, isn't it? I definitely think that her skill set is unique, but I never felt like she carried any weight to make herself a member of the crew. But for those keeping track at home, the ongoing joke is that even with Jinbei, there's still one more character. Although, depending on how you interpret it, because I think there's even like debate on how Luffy's original proclamation was stated. Because originally he was like, I'm going to have 10 crewmates. So the question is he referring to himself or is he referring to 10 other crewmates? So we're either there and we have the whole crew with Jinbei, or there's going to be one more additional member. If we assume the latter, so we're going to assume that Jinbei is not the last, so he's the second to last. If we assume that there will be another, yes, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I feel the way the story is right now, if you were to at least have me pick from the characters we have, it would be Yamato 100%. We now have a new character, very new, which is kind of annoying, but we have a new character who's would essentially serve the same purpose as Odin when he was with the Gold Roger pirates. So that is where I think the biggest disconnect here is. Whereas Carrot would just be like a random plucky cabin girl, like on the Straw Hats, just wanting adventure, which is great. I'm not saying that I don't vibe with that. Yamato now, even though she's like a very fresh new face, her drive is to become a new version of Odin, or like keep Odin.
Yeah, it's not even like sugarcoating. They're like, my name's Yamato, but call me Odin because that's my hero.
Right, like she's just like, yeah, Odin's my hero. I want to, and like she's not going to be the one to open Wano's borders. She might help try to make it happen, and not to mention how much she's starting to idolize Luffy and his, endeavor and try to take down her old man. Once Kaido's bested and Yamato no longer has a reason to keep the Odin fire going, I wholeheartedly think there's going to be some talk of being like, I want to join you on your adventure. I want to make a logbook just like Odin did and make my own adventures, blah, 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 or something like that. I think that that's totally going to happen. So yes, maybe, am I the shallow one? Am I just riding the hype train? Yes. But to that, I say, it makes the most sense out of every character we have thus far. More sense than Carrot. And I will also admit I was a little biased. I never really cared for Carrot. She was all right. She was there.
I like Carrot
fun.
as a character. I would love for her to join the crew. But I feel like the writing's on the wall for Yamato to join the crew. Unless we get like swerved. If we get swerved, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think that's all the talk I have for current stuff and whatnot.
That's all you have? You've been waiting for months to do this, and this is all you got. You don't got anything else you want to talk about. What come on, guy. Big guy. What are you looking forward to the most outside of Water 7?
Okay. I don't know why. I have like zero foundation for this thought, but I'm honestly convinced Rox D. Jabek is not dead. I don't know why.
Oh, I think that there is a reasonable chance that it is that this Eam guy, that they are one and the same.
Like, I'm convinced Roxy Shebek is going to come back up out of nowhere and be like, you killed Kaido and Big Mom or whatever happens to them at the end of Wano. Well, here you have me. And you can, I don't even know. I feel like that's going to come back somehow.
I will say that I don't love the fact that Zebek was like totally shoehorned in, like at the tail end of the series. Like that was kind of a whack. Same thing with Eam. I guess it will eventually set up a reason to combat the world government. outside of Blackbeard, because I think we can all agree Blackbeard's like the end game goal or the end game boss, right? But he's going to be the end game boss of the pirate world, I would argue. Probably not the end game boss of the series. So by bringing in Eam or bringing in this previous threat of Zebek, maybe they found a way, like Oda found a way to like tie it together a little bit better. I agree with it or not. I would say that it could have been sprinkled in a little bit more organically throughout the series if you really did want to go this route. That would be my only problem with it. But regardless, Eam and Zebek, I would probably venture a guess that if they're not one and the same, they at least are familiar with one another, and Eam might have maybe been the one to kill Zebek for real or something like that. I don't know. Whoever this Eam guy is an absolute fucking... He's a chucklehead. Let's just be real.
Remind me who this Eam character is, because it's not ringing any bells right now.
Are you kidding me?
I'm so serious.
Oh my god!
Unless I do tend to like not remember names very well when I watch the series.
He was the shadowy king figure over back during the Reverie, while they were doing the Reverie, and then you had like a dude who looked at some bounty posters and was like checked out like a giant old straw hat that was in a freezer for some fucking reason. And then he said that he was in command of the 5 great elders and told them to bring...
okay, yeah. I didn't realize that was their name, or at least I just completely forgot about it.
It's Eam. I am. I don't really know if it's I'm or Eam, but I just assumed Eam.
Gotcha. I remember the scene. Definitely kind of forgot about it a little bit.
After introducing him, there's obviously a reason. I would assume that it's probably him and Rox are probably one and the same for some reason. I don't know how they made it that way. I don't know why they chose to make it that way, but that would be my guess, is that they're probably one and the same. However, alternatively, I would also appreciate if Rox is dead, and that's why Blackbeard was so interested in the devil fruit he was interested in, because he knew it was Zebek's old devil fruit and he wanted it. He knew it was a strong fucking power. So he was like, bruh, I need that. So that would also, I would be okay with. If Rox isn't around, I would prefer that to be the reason, but we'll have to wait and see.
It interests me that like you don't think that like while Blackbeard is very obviously like end game, but it's like end game for like let's say we're about to hit Raftail or whatever, Laugh-Tail, whatever you want to call it. The way I'm understanding it was like Blackbeard goes down before Luffy gets that far. Whereas like I mean, granted this is like just my own little headcanon or whatever, where like I can fully see just like Luffy gets the Laugh-Tail, he meets Blackbeard there, and like that's where we finish everything.
I would actually counter and say that Blackbeard's gonna beat Luffy to Raftel.
I would not be surprised. And that'd be really cool.
I think he's gonna beat Luffy to Raftel, number one. And then the only way I see it playing out is that the World Government loose end and the Blackbeard loose end goes down together. But if I was to be a betting man, and let's assume for a minute that they're not going down at the same time, right? Let's assume that we have to pick an order. I would venture a guess that it's going to be World Government last. That would be me. That'd be me personally. If I was to put a bet towards anything, because it includes the most amount of characters. It has to. It's just like the Naruto Ninja War arc, right? Like, yeah, you got Obito who's like trying to do the Sharingan thing in the sky. You got Madara, but then out of nowhere comes freaking Kaguya or whatever, because they had to make a brand new villain or whatever. I would say more than likely, if I was a betting man, if we assume that it goes down one and then the other, it would be Blackbeard first, World Government second. Now, there might be some like weird hullabaloo that goes on in there where, you know, they either join forces for some stupid reason, or Blackbeard takes out the government himself and he's now suddenly the only one at the top of the food chain. That I believe. But if the Straws and their alliance is what takes down the World Government, I think that's going to be the last thing that happens, beyond a shadow of a doubt.
I'd be down for that. Especially because I'm really interested in the whole like little sneak peek they gave us for the Holy Land of Marie-Joise. Not that one. It was in the flashback when like Garp like teamed up with Gold Roger.
No. Yeah. No, you're talking about that place where they had the big fight or whatever. It was like the Emerald City or something like that.
Yeah, where like that is, as far as I'm concerned, like just where we kept all the Celestial Dragons. And then a pirate finally got there and like, oh no. We can't have this again.
Oh no, we have to relocate you guys to the top of the red line.
I don't know if they like Buster called it, or like they just like straight up moved a whole island, which isn't that far of a stretch, but
You know, if we want to like completely shoehorn this whole conversation, I'm just going to keep going. There's a guy who loves to theorize about like what he expects the end of the series to be, and his name is Arthur. I don't remember his last name, but he owns this thing called Library of Ohara that he started like his own like personal project where he like keeps a bunch of like theories and, you know, like a wiki page for One Piece related content. And I loved his theories related to what he thinks the ancient weapons are and who plays a role into what. I remember him saying that. So we already know that, what's her name? Shirahoshi is Poseidon and she can control the Sea Kings, right?
Yes.
So his theory was to piggyback off of that. Pluton is actually Vivi and not a ship.
Really?
And that Pluton is not only Vivi, but her innate power or whatever is to control the creatures that either made or became the Red Line, similarly to like Attack on Titan, which I know is really wild, but hear me out here. Hear me out here. What if Vivi is really the true Pluton? The only reason that this other Pluton existed, what if this wasn't the Pluton, the one that Frankie burned? What if it was just the mankind's, you know, interpretation of a power that could rival Pluton if Pluton ever got out of hand? What if that was the reason that, because we already know that Vivi came from the Nefertari family, and the Nefertari family used to be celestial dragons and they were exiled. They left or whatever. So whatever original war happened, what if part of the reason they were exiled related to the original Pluton being just an absolute fuckhead and made the Red Line and was a chuckle, and then they ran away and never to be seen from again, whatever. So we got Shirahoshi, who would be Poseidon. Vivi would be Pluton, which is why Eam is interested in her, because he knows that she might be Pluton. Then, I'll be honest, I don't know where to go with Uranus, but I think, if anything, whoever Uranus is either going to be in Wano, and if they are, in fact, I think it might even be Momo, because I think that whoever controls Uranus is the one who controls the colony of giant elephants, like that's built on the back of Zoe or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So there's more of those fuckers. So we got 3 crazy creatures that are controlled by 3 like lineages of royal descent or whatever. And that's why Momo could talk to Zoetia or whoever. That's my theory. That's my headcanon. Fucking join me.
I'll take it. I don't got enough brain cells to think of anything better.
Get on my level. I've been thinking about this for fucking weeks. And I'm also paraphrasing a lot of his thoughts and sprinkling in a little bit of my own conjecture in there. I don't remember exactly how he played it all out, but I remember he said that the whole thing with Eam was very reminiscent of like, eventually when they start, you know, like describing like what the devil fruit is, it's gonna go back to like the story of Adam and Eve somehow, you know, like the apple, how it has like unknown power, unknown truth or whatever, and wherever the devil fruits come from, they'll presumably say that it comes from either the big tree Adam or the big tree Eve. Maybe the tree Adam is Yggdrasil that exists in Elbaf colony, and then the one that makes the devil fruits is Eve, which exists somewhere on the Red Line or whatever in Marijwa, for all we fucking know. But that would be my guess, is that there's probably 2 trees, one named Adam, one named Eve. That's why we have the Adam wood or whatever, and the Adam probably exists in Elbaf being mistaken for Yggdrasil or whatever. Whole fucking thing. I love it. I love when cultures collide, man.
Makes sense to me.
All right. I'm sorry. I've been shoehorning this conversation for the better part of the last 20 minutes. How you guys doing?
I feel bad for Jordy. He's been quiet.
You can keep going.
Nah, I'm good.
I think we run our course.
I did my quota. we're done here.
What do you want to do? You want to steer this toward the end? Has Jordy got anything he wants to say, think about?
Yeah, Jordy, how are you at? How are you doing, big guy? I know you're looking forward to Water 7. I know that you think it's your favorite arc. What are you looking forward out of this podcast going forward? The movie Z?
I don't think I've actually seen that one, so Sam.
Justin, please.
You are a fucking madman. In fact, don't even see it. Just don't. Because when we get to it, it'll be better. It'll be better that way.
Absolutely.
We're going to be getting to one of the good ones, like, not that long from now. I mean, the first good one is the one where he fights Shiki, and that's just before Impel Down. So, well, okay, I mean, that's like 200. We're like halfway to that movie. That's not that bad.
2 years from now, huh?
year.
I mean,
and a
I'm surprised
half.
we got this far in just a year or whatever.
Dude, I remember my original goal was to just get to Bon Clay because I wanted Devin to meet Bon Clay so bad. Now that we got there, I don't know where else we're going to go from here. We're going to keep doing this, I guess.
Honestly, if we stop like at time skip and I could just tell Devin that like Gundams are real, look at Frankie, and that's where we just call it a day, I'll be satisfied.
Nah, I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. If we make it all the way to time skip, I'm taking this shit up. I'm taking this train all the way to the end if we can. We're gonna have to do some crazy logistics to figure out pacing, but we're gonna figure it out. All right, I think we're good here, right?
Seems like it.
Well, thank you for listening. This is the second episode of the Spoilercast. Hope you enjoyed it. And we don't really have a closing bit unless Justin wants to come in clutch. How you doing, Justin?
Clutch is not my middle name.
And well, thank you for listening. Follow us on those socials, the panda sightings, everything.
I swear I'm gonna maybe make a Twitter soon, and I'm gonna like interact with y'all as like a separate entity.
You know, you aren't gonna just use the community thing.
Yeah, like you have access to the one that we use.
I have to ask for those credentials. But I also like just being like my own independent entity online. Okay, real talk. If in case I ever do actually commit to like making a Twitter, I was definitely just gonna name like my Twitter handle, which is gonna be Simmy.
Simmy.
I'm just gonna be Simmy. So for all you spoiler people out here who are listening to this, if you see me on Twitter and you see a guy roaming around saying Simmy wrote blah 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 blah, just know it's me.
You are a fucking madman. I love it. Please do. That'll be amazing.
Shit, let me do it right now then.
All right. Well, that's it from us. Thank you for listening.
Bye-bye now.